What would you say life is like in Scunthorpe?
Well, it's quiet and busy.
Quiet, busy?
Yeah.
Yeah?
It's not like every town I've lived in. But,
Oh, right, okay. What was the difference here?
well, the difference here, I came from Leicester,
From Leicester,
and that was a busy place. This is more relaxed,
more relaxed.
laid back. You can find what you want without having to fight your way through crowds.
Ah, well, that's a good thing. That's definitely a good thing. Is there anything that you would want to change of the town, or?
No, actually, the way they're doing it and keeping it going.
Fantastic.
Right,
Amazing. Well, thanks very much for a couple of moments of your time.
no problem.
Thank you. Have a fantastic day. So, just what's your thoughts about the war in Ukraine?
What's my thoughts about the war in Ukraine? Well, obviously, nobody's happy about it because it has an impact on us here. Just recently, I think he's been treated very badly by the Americans. But I think England's stepping up, or the UK's stepping in to help out. Is that the sort of thing you?
Yeah.
I mean, what?
No, yeah. we're just asking general questions, really. Like, obviously, there's been an escalation this past week with what's happened with Trump and Zelensky, and then the UK have, they hosted their security summit. Keir Starmer did mention, apart of the security guarantees, that there may be boots on the ground or planes in the air. What's your thoughts on that?
I'm not comfortable with it. Because we're getting involved in other people's messes again. However, it is a sovereign nation and it was invaded.
Yeah.
So if we don't help, then who's going to?
Yeah, and it's a very complicated situation. But how do we come about peace? Would you say?
We've got to get round the table. At the end of the day, it's negotiation. That's all that ever wins. It's negotiation. They can fight as much as they want, but at the end of the day, you've got to get round the table and talk.
Got to get round the table and talk.
Yeah, there's no other solution for it.
No.
The sooner the better as well.
Sooner the better. Thank you very much for a couple of moments of your time. Thank you very much. What's your thoughts on the country right now and the direction it's going?
It's going all messed up and wrong because
Messed
the
up.
prime minister's putting all these restrictions and stuff in place, and it's messing people up, and people aren't affording to live anymore.
Yeah, with the rising costs of everyday life.
It's like my internet bill's just gone up to £38, and if it cuts everything down, we're not going to be able to pay the bills.
I know. And what do you think is the root cause to the rising costs?
Him, for one.
The policies.
Yeah, and not only that, they're saying they're in this black hole, but no offence to any other country, but they're giving more money out there than looking after these own people, and I think that's totally wrong.
Yeah, you need to look after your own first.
Yeah, I mean, I haven't got a problem with anybody else. Like, I know they're going through things, but at the end of the day, our country's falling because he's looking after them before us.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
100%. And what's your thoughts on immigration? And you see a lot of people coming over on boats, illegal immigration. What impact do you think that has to everyday life?
It's having a massive impact because again, there's people homeless that are veterans and other people that are homeless and can't get a hotel, yet these people are coming across and getting everything they want, everything they need. And I just think it's wrong.
Yeah, and why do you think that they're allowing this illegal immigration to happen? Like, why do you feel like these people should be deported if they've come here illegally? That is
illegally, yes. I think they should be because it's not fair. It's not fair on the British people. At the end of the day, And again, like I say, there's veterans out on the streets.
Yes.
With nothing, and they're not getting help. People that fought for our country, and they're not getting any help.
Yeah, and the the knock-on effect to what that does to travel and the state of towns, etc.
And to be honest with you, from what I've read as well, because I don't really watch the news, but from what I've seen, there's the illegal immigrants that are coming over and attacking us. So it's not. There's
crime as well. It's not just. I mean, they've come over illegally, which is a crime, and then there's certainly cases where there's been some really negative things that's happened to ordinary people.
Yeah, it's not fair. It's not fair on our people or our country. It's not. I just don't agree with it at all.
Do you feel safe here in the UK?
I'm starting not to be honest. If I'm being completely honest, I'm starting not to feel safe.
No. And finally, thank you very much for your time. And finally, if you had the opportunity, if I was Keir Starmer, the Prime Minister, what would you say to him right now?
Sort yourself out. Look after your own people before others. I know there's stuff going on around the world, but it's not your job or our job to look after them.
Yeah.
They've got their own Prime Minister, and look after your own first.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for your time.
Welcome.
Really appreciate it. Thank you. Enjoy the rest of your day. See you later. So yeah, a lovely lady. One of the things that stood out to me just now was she's starting not to feel safe, and that's really a fundamental issue. I think a right for all of us. We should be able to live our days, live our lives around these streets, public areas, and feel safe. So if people are starting to not have that sense of security and safety, then that is a fundamental responsibility of the elected, the government and the people in power. So really appreciated her honesty just then, because these are hard topics and this is real life. So British Steel have announced the closure of blast furnaces, rod mill, steel making. What's been your thoughts on this news?
Well, it's going to kill Scunthorpe. I worked in the steelworks early 70s, late 70s to early 80s, and they shut Norby Park.
Right.
And it was devastating that when Norby Park shut. So if that pod shuts, this town will die. There'll be nothing.
What do you think is the cause of this announcement?
Probably money. They haven't invested in, well, I don't think they've invested in Apfod for years. It's just gone to lack of ruin, isn't it? Now they've decided to, as I say, if they shut it, this town will die.
Yeah.
So,
No, and I guess the final question is, what would you say to the government about the need for?
I can't say that on tape, mate.
You can't say that on tape. Understood. I mean, steel is it's such a.
It's a steel town. It's known as a steel town.
Yeah.
As I say, when I worked on it, it was the biggest employer in the area.
Yeah.
And as I say, they shut Norby Park, or Light Heights as it was called, at the time when they were the only ones making the special steel.
Yeah.
That was British Steel, that wasn't anything to do with who's got it now, but it killed parts of Scunthorpe then, in the early 80s. If that shuts, this town will be dead.
Thank you very much for
the amount of people who will lose their jobs.
It's devastating. It's devastating. But yeah, thank you very much for a couple of minutes of your time. Hello guys, sorry to interrupt. We're doing a bit of a documentary around Scunthorpe, talking about politics and the government. Do you follow the government and the government?
No, can't help it.
No? Yeah. Do you mind if I ask you a few questions? Is it okay? Yeah? Your beer's getting warm. No, I appreciate it. So from the parties right now, Labour, Conservative, Reform, who do you kind of support, or none?
None really.
None.
I don't trust any of them, but I give hope in that Nigel Farage, because he generally gets things done and he don't tell a lot of lies.
Me pin,
Right.
but then they
The
give
rest
me
of them are
me
liars.
voucher code.
Rest of them alive.
They're all liars.
You've not got
They
your
are.
voucher
Every
code.
single one of them.
Yeah. And
There's no difference between
Say
Labour.
one
Unless you
thing,
wait
then
till
when they get
Manchester
in,
comes
they
in,
don't do
'cause
it.
she's better than this.
Simple.
and
All
When
of
she
my
comes in,
life,
I'll get to
I'm 63 years old.
over.
All of my life, we've been battling between
one's not.
Conservatives and
yeah,
Labour.
get my missus. She's on her
Now,
way anyway.
in all
so
of my
I'll get her
63 years, all I've ever witnessed is this country decline. So it doesn't matter which of them two powers that we have in power, they aren't going in the right bleeding direction.
Yeah.
Something has to change fundamentally in this whole system.
And therefore, those two parties need to be broken up and be somebody like Nigel Farage and reform. You think that's the
They
answer?
have to stop putting their hands in our pockets and start putting their hands in their own bloody pockets.
Yeah. Do you think the government right now are looking after the UK people?
No.
No, they're
I
not.
lost my heating fuel allowance when they moved in.
You was impacted by that?
Yeah, I
They've
don't
never-
get it anymore.
They haven't looked after us
I'm
since
76-year-old.
1950.
1950. And you know, if you had any type of advice for Nigel Farage, because he seems to be very much like, you know, family, community, country, looking after the UK citizens.
I'd give him some, advice I'd give him is just don't bloody lie and do the best you can. And don't bloody lie to us, because we're sick of that. And we can see through it. I mean, they're telling us, right, our water bills are going up. Not because of corporate greed, but because corporate greed. It's not going up because, and the gas prices haven't gone up because of the war in Ukraine. I mean, they're putting them up again this year because of the ongoing war in Ukraine. It's got nothing to do with that.
Yeah.
Wholesale gas prices at the minute are falling, but our fucking prices are going up.
Yeah. Nah, and
Now, what
it's,
does that tell you?
there's something that's
Ain't
we don't
right.
know. It's not right. Clearly. You know, one of
And
the
the water, the issue with the water is they're putting it up another £100 a year. Shouldn't they have been taking some of the money out that they've been shoveling into their pockets over the last 30 years to actually maintain the system? Only 5% of the money that's dragged in through this country every year goes into running the water companies. 95% of that money within 3 months is handed out to the shareholders.
Sorry.
That's it.
You're right. Thank you so much.
Google it.
Yeah.
That's correct.
No, thank you very much for that time. I appreciate it.
95% of that cash is gone within 3 months.
And it's not right.
And not a penny put into maintenance. Now they're expecting us to put more money in to pay for the maintenance that they've neglected to do for 30 years.
And
You tell me what's right.
well, I mean, when any sort of political party try to win a general election, they always talk about a manifesto. They always talk about this is what we intend on doing, but clearly
Bunch of lies.
they're not following the manifestos. That's what you're experiencing.
They're not. No. I
So
don't think they can. I mean, they're promising things they know they can't deliver because of the failing economy that we live in.
yeah,
We do not have the money to do what they keep promising us. All they do is promise you it and then cut back somewhere else.
yeah.
So you're not really getting any. You're not going forward. You're going back.
No. Thank you so much for a couple of minutes' time. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Let's hope that the
You'll have to edit out the swearing.
no, I really appreciate it. Enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you. Cheers. We're talking the Ukraine war in this video, getting some opinions. Do you mind if I ask you a couple of questions? Yeah. Okay. So, you know, the Ukraine war is all over the world at this moment in time. Obviously, this last week, Trump, Zelensky, Starmer. What's your thoughts on the current war in Ukraine?
I just think it's pathetic.
Pathetic.
Yeah, pretty much.
I think it's absolutely devastating. Shocking.
Shocking.
Yeah.
And you know, this week, Keir Starmer has said, you know, they're going to do everything they possibly can to get a peace deal with security guarantees, which could include boots on the ground and planes in the air. What's your thoughts on UK people being on the ground in Ukraine?
Well, you just feel bad for them really because it's their own like turf in it. So yeah, it's just hard to explain.
Yeah. And ultimately, it's all about getting peace, right? Yeah.
Just shake hands in it. There's no point fighting over little things. Just sit down and have a talk.
Sit down and have a talk. Nah, thank you very much. I really appreciate your time. What's your thoughts on the country and the UK and the direction it's heading?
I'm from Lithuania.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'm living here 7 years. Yeah, so I'm happy.
Yeah?
My kids happy, I'm happy.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So, what is it about the country that you're really enjoying?
Oh no, it's good place because it's a lot of job, a lot of factory. So if you come in here, want to join to live in here, so go work.
Yeah. Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing. And you know, if you were able to change anything whatsoever, would you change anything?
No, for me it's just, exactly now. Beautiful.
Yeah.
Because my kids are happy, I'm happy.
Yes. No, that's great. And I guess the final thing I'd say is, you know, what's your thoughts of you know, the town, Scunthorpe? Yeah. Do you?
No, I'm live outside, quiet, all the time quiet. No criminals, no fighting.
Yeah.
All peoples.
No.
So it's good.
It's amazing. Thank you so much for a couple of moments of your time. Really appreciate it. Have a great day. So British Steel have announced the closure of multiple plants, putting at risk thousands of people's careers.
Seen it.
What's been your reaction to this?
I think there should be more help from the government. I mean, if it goes downhill, what's going to happen here? I've spoke to you about this place before, haven't I?
Yes.
It'll only get worse. You know that, I know that.
And what do you think has been the root cause to this?
Greed. No, I don't know. I don't really know. What's your opinion on it?
My opinion has been, I think there's multiple factors, but in specifically two. Yeah. Number one, I believe net zero is an issue.
Yeah, of course it is, yeah.
I think we're all conscious of greenhouse gases and doing our bit to be green. Yeah. The issue is from a British Steel, and it's such a fundamental part of the society infrastructure. Yeah. It makes it very difficult to compete on the global scale when they're enforcing so many policy changes and fines or tariffs, etc.
Yeah, but I've seen it on telly. What about China? They're pumping all these greenhouse gases up and everything, aren't they? And is that who owns these steelworks?
It is, yeah.
Well, I don't know. I really do not know what to suggest.
Yeah. And if you was to be able to have a conversation with the Prime Minister and say, like, what could you do to support the steelworkers, what would you say to him?
Take care. No, I don't know. No, I'm not going to say that. No, I'm not going to say it because I'll get in trouble. I don't like the man. I do not like the man. No. I think he's got everything's wrong. From what you know, when he came into all this bullshit, when he was saying, "I'm going to do this, going to do that," everything's totally different to what he said.
Yeah.
You only have to look on YouTube and whatever, Facebook. Everybody's got an opinion, haven't they?
Yeah.
It said the other day, it said he's the most hated Prime Minister ever.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not that clued up on politics, but.
No, and
of course it does.
Yeah, and you mentioned it right at the start. What do you think the repercussion is going to be to this town that is an industrial town? I mean, just behind us we see a sculpture of.
This town was built on that place.
Yes.
Wasn't it? I watched a documentary. They came from all over the country to, you know, and then built that, and then built all the houses. There should be more done because this will end up a ghost town.
So, what's your thoughts on the UK right now and the direction it's heading?
Well, at the moment, I think we're in a dream world at the moment. I think we want to do something positive, but it's a long way to get there because of what the mess that the other lot left in the first place. So I think hopefully we should do well. We always do in the end, but unfortunately in Scunthorpe we've got the steel problem at the moment.
Yes.
Closing the steel works. But being an ex-steel worker, not from here, from Rotherham in South Yorkshire, I can't understand the government's attitude towards it because I think it's a political decision which is causing a lot of problems about being green.
Yes.
It's okay in theory, and everybody says the world's going to get worse and worse unless we do something with the green thing. But if you look back in history, all the things that we've had in the last 50, 60, 100 years has happened before.
Yes.
So therefore, I'm not convinced. But with the steelworks wanting to close the blast furnaces down, which makes really good steel, virgin steel as they call it, and put electric arc furnaces in there, I worked at Steel Peach and Tozer in Rotherham in the late 50s, early 60s, and they had a wonderful idea. What Sweden did, we'll close the open hearth furnaces and we'll have electric arc furnaces, and we had 3 put in. This is in early 60s.
Okay.
They lasted 3 years, and then they scrapped them because they were no good. Now this is my argument. It's the green argument that we're putting forward, but it's not the true argument. The true argument should be about making the correct type of steel and not going green and making rubbish. Are you with me?
The best quality product, essentially, and that then also makes you think about, it's all well and good going green, but if it's a global conversation, then other countries need to also go green, but then are we hurting ourselves if other countries are not going green? And
that is the point. I think you've got a good point there, because fortunately or unfortunately, the vast majority of the country, particularly the Asian side of where we as a steel country set up their industries in the first place, they're still doing what we used to do. And the sad thing is that we're going to be importing steel from China, Russia, the Far East, and it doesn't seem right to me just because of the green idea.
Yes.
I agree with what you've just said. It's a global situation, but I do wish we would stand on our own 2 feet and say, well, it's a nice in theory, but it's not a very good way of going forward.
Yeah, and I guess one of the topics to talk about as well is we'll talk about British steel and being able to manufacture here. What's your thoughts on like immigration right now and like the illegal immigration? We see a lot of images of people coming over on boats. What's your thoughts on that?
Well, my thoughts on that are that I think a lot of the press and the internet people are jumping on the bandwagon and saying that all these immigrants are criminals and they shouldn't be here and they're taking all our jobs, which is a laugh because there's going to be no jobs anyway. But to put it bluntly, my son and daughter-in-law, they used to foster children.
Okay.
And 2 years ago, I think it was, or 3 years ago, the authorities approached them and said, we've got a refugee boy, 15 years old, who's from Syria.
Right.
Would you look after him for a couple of weeks until we try and sort him out? Now, when you see that boy that came and stayed with my son from Syria, from Aleppo he was, which was a nasty area, he was 15, he left Aleppo when he was 12, both his parents and his family were virtually killed, and it took him 3 years to get here. So how can you condemn somebody like that, whether they come on a boat or row it themselves to get here?
Yeah, I don't think you can kind of blanket say everybody is this. There is obviously unique circumstances, and everybody has a circumstance for why they're here. And but that's a wonderful story of a boy that he is a genuine person that actually needs help and support.
That's right. But according to the TV, is a criminal. All these people who come over on boats are criminals. My particular idea, as a humanist, if you like, God help them. I mean, why should they be in that situation? How desperate are they to get away from the country that they were born in? I mean, and the thing that we forget as Brits, I mean, I'm 82 now, and when I think back of all the things we had as an empire under the Victorian system, we ruled the world virtually, but we also milked the world of resources and things from different countries, and now we're reaping the rewards. We're getting the people that we didn't really help back. It's a peculiar world, isn't it?
Coming full circle there. I guess the final question here is, if you had the opportunity to sit on this bench with Keir Starmer, the Prime Minister, what would be one of the things that you would say to him that needs to be looked at or supported?
Well, like I say, I think we need to be stood on our own 2 feet and not puppets of America, of which we have been for 40 odd years now, or more. That's, I think, what I'd say to him is, stick to our country, put us first, not the relationship between us and America. because particularly now what we've got in America is a joke, in my opinion. But yeah, I mean, he's a nice guy, Keir Starmer, and a clever chap, obviously. But my doubts, I mean, I've been a member of the Labour Party since I was 15 years old.
Okay.
And as I say, he's a very nice guy and a clever chap. But bowing down to America like he has done and saying, "Here you are, Mr. Trump, help us please, we've got an invitation with the King."
Yes.
I think that's not very nice, and I don't think it helps our country particularly.
You got to, make Britain great again. And that, like you said, that's from steel. That's from you're looking after people, energy. The fundamentals. But yeah,
look after our own country.
Yeah.
We've been good enough in the past, so let's do it again.
Thank you so much. I really, really appreciate that. Enjoy your retirement and enjoy the sun here. See you later. Bye bye. Yeah, that was a great conversation with the gentleman, just enjoying the sunset, enjoying his retirement. A couple of things that he said that was really, really interesting. Number one, he's an ex-steel worker, and this conversation about what we should be doing or shouldn't be doing, electric arc furnaces, they've tried it in the past and it didn't work. And then from an immigration, his son fostering a young teenager who had lost all his family. So, these are really complicated and complex conversations. I'd love to know what your thoughts are in the comments down below, and get the conversation started.
What sort of questions will you be asking?
So we're just going to be asking, like, what's life like in Scunthorpe? So are you from Scunthorpe?
I am from Scunthorpe.
Yeah, what's it been like for you here?
Round here, it's shit. I tell you now, it's shit.
Shit. What makes it shit?
Because there's nothing to do, no opportunities for no one.
And I assume there's one of the things with that is like the UK government. What could they be doing more here?
Well, more for the youth, to be honest, because it's like you just see all the youth kicking about all the time, nowhere to go, nothing to do, causing trouble because they've got no else to do. I don't know what they could put in place, but there's something they could put in place.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Yeah.
Yeah. So are you in college or anything right now?
I'm not in college now. I'm on my way now to go sort out a job actually. But yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So if it was up to you, what would you implement in Scunthorpe to make it better for yourself and others?
What would I implement in Scunthorpe? It's an hard question because, to be honest, I'm not too sure what I would implement, but there's definitely something that needs to be implemented because I'm not too sure what I'd do though.
Yeah, just more opportunities, more jobs, more. Do you feel like there's people to talk to like what career path you want to go down?
Not much of that, no, because it is hard to get a job. Because I lost my job not too long ago, and I've been struggling to get one. I've only just now got an opportunity to go somewhere up here now to sort one, but it is hard to get a job round here. A lot of people turn to drug dealing, robbing. Do you know what I mean? Because there's nothing else for them to turn to. But yeah, it is hard.
No, well, I mean, it sounds like you're going to look for this job interview right now. What's the job for?
I'm not too sure what it is, but they've said if I go in now, they'll give me a few different options around the area. Probably be factory work, you know what I mean?
Amazing, amazing. Well, good luck with that, and thank you very much for a couple of moments of your time.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah, nice to meet you too. Speak soon. See you later. We're just asking the local people of Scunthorpe about their thoughts on the war in Ukraine. What's your thoughts on the war in Ukraine?
I don't think it's right.
You don't think it's right?
No. There's too many people being killed, and isn't there?
Too many people, yeah.
And they're not doing out, are they?
Well, in this last week, obviously the President Zelensky had a meeting with.
It's not him; it's the others.
With President Trump. What's your thoughts on how Trump's handling the situation?
I don't think he knows what he's doing.
You don't think he knows what he's doing?
I think it's like our Prime Minister. He went to see him, didn't he? And then they tried to get rid of him.
Yeah.
They didn't want to know.
No.
It's wrong.
It is. And, one of the...
Come here, sis, you can talk.
I don't bite. I'm friendly.
Yeah, I know you're friendly.
One of the big conversations was about security guarantees. And obviously, Ukraine as a sovereign country have been invaded, and they do need some lasting security guarantees. And one of the points that Prime Minister Keir Starmer said was saying about one of those potential points were boots on the ground and planes in the air from a UK perspective. What's your thoughts on that?
I agree with that one.
You agree?
With that one, yeah.
That we should be taking UK people to the Ukraine?
Yeah, to help out.
Yeah.
But have we got enough men and women in the forces to do it?
It's a very complicated situation, isn't it?
I know.
It is. But thank you so much for a couple of moments of your time. I really, really appreciate
That's
it.
quite all right.
Yeah, thank you.
No, it looks good with that in his hand.
Thank you. Have a fantastic day.
You too,
Thank you.
young man.
Thank you. Cheers.
See you.
Bye.
See ya.
What's life in Scunthorpe like for yourself?
Well, I don't live in Scunthorpe. I just, come here to do banking and different things. But it is pretty bleak from what I've seen.
Where is it that you come from?
Epworth.
Oh, Epworth. Okay,
Yeah.
okay. What would you say is something that there could be better in Scunthorpe then? In terms of, you mentioned it was bleak. What's bleak about it?
Obviously, all the shops are closing down.
Yeah.
Yeah. There doesn't seem a lot, everywhere just seems to be cafes and charity shops now.
Yeah. What do you think the UK government could be doing to support towns like this to help revive the high street?
Yeah, they could be putting more money into it, into the infrastructure, and making it easier to get here.
Yeah.
Public transport's quite dismal.
It is. Well, thanks very much for a couple of moments of your time. Thank you. British Steel have announced the closure of the blast furnaces, rod mill. What's been your reaction to this?
Well, it's not been very positive because my friend's family's main way of income is from British Steel. Now that's shutting, they're going to be in a bit of a financial trouble because they've got no way of income now, so they're going to have to find other jobs. And because my friend's only 16 as well, he said he's going to have to start having a job to help pick up some more money for the house as well. And because he's still in college like me, he needs to find a way to get income out of college hours while balancing college at the same time.
Yeah, and what do you think is the root cause to this?
Well, it got taken over by the Chinese a bit ago, and apparently the steel wasn't up to quality from what it was when it was under government rule. But now, apparently, because the steel's not up to quality and it's just been getting worse, that's probably the main cause of it.
And what do you think the impact will be to Scunthorpe if they're reporting multiple thousands of people going to be losing their careers?
There'll be a big wave of people moving away from Scunthorpe, I think, to try and find a job in that kind of sector, because the British Steel is one of the main job sectors of this area, so there won't be that many people staying because of that job sector, and they won't be able to afford to live here.
And finally, what would you say to the government? The steel industry is essential from a foundational for infrastructure, for defence, etc. What would you say if you had the opportunity to speak to the Prime Minister?
They should take over the steelworks again and obviously open up the different sectors, slowly, not all at once, so the people can get the jobs back, and so that the steel manufacturing can be up to state of what it needs to be as well.
Amazing, thank you very much. What's your thoughts on the current war in Ukraine?
I think it's disgusting, really. You know what I mean? But it's scary, isn't it? You know what I mean? With this, what happened, you know what I mean, with Trump and all that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It sounds like it's going to escalate and get worse.
Yeah. What was your opinions on the meeting that the Trump, Zelensky, the Oval Office, when they had this explosive argument?
Well, I don't think he gets it, that Trump, does he? You know what I mean? I think he just wants America to be America or be great and that. He's on about coming out of NATO and everything. You know what I mean? It's a bit scary.
It is scary.
You know what I mean? But you can understand, when you think about it, you know what I mean? And all the money that they're giving them, billions and billions, you know what I mean? The American public probably don't, you know what I mean, don't want it, you know what I mean? Because they're spending half of everything that they're getting Ukraine. America's giving half of it, Europe's only giving the other half, you know what I mean, between all them countries. So you can understand it a little bit, you know what I mean? I get it in a sense, you know what I mean, but...
Yeah,
you know what I mean? If America stops, you know what I mean, sending money and arms and everything, they're going to be in a bit of trouble.
Yeah, and after that meeting, Keir Starmer, the Prime Minister, hosted the security summit, and one of the things from there was to work towards a peace deal as well as security guarantees. And one of the points that he mentioned was being willing to put UK people boots on the ground and planes in the air. What do you think about that?
We don't need it, do we? We don't want that. You know what I mean? It's hard to say, you know what I mean? Because look at the state of our country. You know what I mean? The NHS is on its knees.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know what I mean? I think there's, you know what I mean, better money to be spent here.
Yeah.
Rather than, but do you know what I mean? Where does it all stop? You know what I mean? That's how Hitler started, wasn't it? You know what I mean? He took over a certain country. You know what I mean? We let him do it, and look what happened with that. You know what I mean? He ended up taking all Europe, didn't he?
Yeah.
All the way to France, and then he started taking us. But you know what I mean? We're not as strong as we used to be. Do you know what I mean? If that happened again, they'd probably get over to here, like, you know what I mean? Yeah, it's scary.
It is scary, and at the end of the day, it's a very complex situation, and but peace needs to come out of this.
Well, yeah, we know that, but you know what I mean? Putin's not going to do that, is he? You know what I mean? He's going to want something for it, you know what I mean? That's why he's done it. He's going to want he's going to want all that. He wants Ukraine back, doesn't he? Mm-hmm. And he wants Poland. You know what I mean? Where does he stop? Where does it stop? You know what I mean?
It's very concerning, but thank you very much for a couple of moments of your time. I really appreciate it. Thank you. Take care. Thank you. Are you from Scunthorpe?
I was born in Winterton, but I've lived in Scunthorpe in my adult life.
Oh, okay. So what's your current thoughts on how Scunthorpe is right now?
Some of it's very good, especially the pods area. I like what you've done there. We go there regularly, a friend and I. We go there for a coffee.
Yeah, very nice
really
place.
Nice.
Yes.
Very good. Well attended as well, by the looks of it.
Yeah.
I'm not keen on all the buildings that they've done. They're all for their council.
The council buildings. No.
I go and have a coffee at the bowling place.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
On Brick Road.
Yeah.
And walking through there, all it is all their buildings.
All the buildings.
I think it's a shame because it was nice where there was green and a bit of a garden.
Mm.
We used to sit there, my late husband and I, we used to walk through that way to the bowls and there was gardens to sit, but I'm not keen on it now.
No. What do you think that the council or the government can do to maybe revive these places in like the high street, because obviously there's lots of empty shops. Like, what do you think? Yeah.
I don't know, but all the high street shops are all vape shops and not the sort of shops that we're used to.
No.
Are you with me? I think there's only the Works that sells jigsaws and things.
Yeah.
That's one of the one that's been there all the time. All the rest seem to be new.
Yeah.
And I'm not keen on it at all.
No.
I don't know what else they can do.
No.
I really don't. I like the market.
Yes.
The market's very good.
Yeah.
Do come to the market, I like it. But there's so many, we've lost so many nice shops.
It doesn't give you much of a reason now to come into town.
No, it doesn't.
There's nothing to actually come in for.
The only time I go up is I've been up to the bank, that West Bank. That's the only time I go up there, I'm afraid.
Yeah, and
I used to.
And if you could have a conversation with like the UK government, let's say the Prime Minister, what's the kind of the one thing that you would ask him to look at for you? I know that's a big question, that
is. It is a big question, I don't know.
No.
I mean, I used to complain when the Conservatives were in, not give the Labour a chance, but I think their hands are tied.
Hands are tied.
There's so much red tape now, isn't there?
Too much
No
regulation.
matter what they want to try and do, it doesn't work, does it?
No, and putting lots of money into council buildings.
Yes,
and,
that's right. It's going in the wrong place.
Wrong place.
I worry about the children growing up now. I've got a great grandson now, and I do worry what world they're growing up into. I really do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thank you very much for a couple of moments of your time.
It's nice. I'm just waiting for a bus. To talk.
Yeah, thank you. Hey guys, we're doing a documentary of life in Scunthorpe. Do you mind if I ask a couple of questions?
Yeah, go on.
What's... don't be shy, it's all good. What's Scunthorpe like for you guys here? You're at college?
Yeah.
It's a shithole. What makes it a shithole?
Growing up here is not the best experience because all the time, any street you walk down during the day, and I imagine you will when you walk through the high street, you'll see drug abusers and all sorts, alcoholics, they all come around, and I work in the market here.
Yeah.
So on a weekend you get them all coming around and they come throwing abuse at people and everything, they're terrible.
What do you think is the root cause to that?
Just bad addiction.
Addiction.
Yeah, big time.
Yeah.
Big problem in this town, definitely.
Yeah.
Get cocaine, a lot of it, big problem.
And if you had the ability to influence or change something for the better, what would you focus on to try making Scunthorpe better for you?
You know what? I would probably go toward the general atmosphere, the civil engineering side. It's just terrible walking down these streets. I hate it. I can't wait to get
Like
out.
make the buildings look better.
Yeah. The place is horrible. It's not the nicest place to walk around, is it?
No, it's no. I understand what you're saying. I mean, it's a bit when you look at that, it's not really anything to
Not appealing, is it?
not appealing. No, well, thank you very much for a couple of moments of your time. Much appreciated. Have a fantastic day. See you later. I think he made a really valid point in terms of the way it looks. I mean, if you think of some of the most amazing kind of historic buildings, whether that is across the UK or even further afield, when you think of the capitals around the world, the buildings look like they look epic, they're inspiring, and sometimes I think you look around, if the buildings are not really all that inspiring, they're a bit boring. It's like it doesn't actually give a you want to look at your environment and be like, wow, like how did they build it? And like they've put energy into it, architecture, and so that's a really, really valid point, that one. British Steel have announced the closure of the blast furnaces, rod mill, steel making. What's been the reaction for yourself?
It's shocking. It's been shocking for me because obviously my history, my heritage, and Scunthorpe is because of the steelworks. My father came from, at that time, East Pakistan, which is now Bangladesh, and he came here and did 30 years in the various sections. Myself, I've worked at Concast, I've worked at a medium section mill, I've done stints as an engineer on the site, so to lose 2,000 jobs, it's shocking. I mean, it's at the end of the backbone of this town, the steelworks, losing the steel is going to have a massive impact, not just on British Steel here, but all the other little companies and the logistics around it, so it's not very good for the town at all.
No, it's not. And what do you think is like the root cause to this?
I think I've seen throughout the 80s, obviously automation played a big part. Obviously people think they can make the steel cheaper in other parts of the world. I think all of that contributes. The economy is not in a good place, so it's easy just to, and the owners will think I'll go somewhere where it's a bit cheaper. So I think the government need to come out and help these businesses, because at the end of the day, they create jobs, and the government's job is to look after its people. So at times like this, they need to come forth and maybe speak to the business owners and subsidise and help them and say, look, you need to keep these businesses here because it has an impact on the economy, on the people of my country. So the government and the Prime Minister need to look at 2,000 people in one stint. It's a lot of people.
It's devastating.
Yeah,
it truly is devastating. Yeah. And from a Scunthorpe United perspective, I know Scunthorpe United, the football club, and the British Steel, the steel workers, they're so closely bonded. A heart of a town is its steelworks and its football club, and I know that the club has been very supportive to the steel workers, etc. I don't know whether you can say a couple of comments from a club perspective and what you've done.
No, the club, as a club, straight away when we heard we wanted to do something, there was a big game on the following day, but we will do whatever we can to support and help those workers and our fans. It's our community, it's our club, and at the end of the day we will do whatever we can. But throughout history, over the last 50, 60, 70 years, there's been a correlation and a connection between the steel workers and the fans at Scunthorpe United. So at this difficult time, at least I can say we won't leave these people stranded. We'll do whatever we can to help them ensure these fans come to the games and they can afford to come to the games.
That's amazing. Thank you very much for a couple of moments of your time. I really appreciate it. What's life in Scunthorpe like for yourself?
It's alright.
Yeah, what is it that you're doing right now?
I am waiting to go start
about my voluntary work in cancer research.
Oh, amazing, amazing. Is that clearly something that you're very passionate about? Incredible. How long have you always lived here in Scunthorpe? Yeah. Is it obviously treated you well? Hopefully. Yeah. Fantastic, amazing. If there was anything that you could change in Scunthorpe, what would you change for the better?
Probably some of the people.
Some of the people.
Yeah.
Why? What's the matter with some of the people?
Horrible, some people, aren't they? Really.
Yeah, it is a shame. Do you feel like the UK government are doing enough to help and support towns like this?
Probably not.
No. What more could they be doing?
Give us more.
Give us more.
Yeah, they're just not doing right, are they, at the moment?
Do you feel like they're supporting, like, obviously you're doing amazing with the cancer research. Do you think they're doing enough to support charities like cancer research, or?
I think so.
Yeah. Yeah, that's great. Well, thanks very much. Have a fantastic time. See you later. Bye-bye. We are currently getting some reactions to the British Steel news of the closures. Do you have a couple of moments of time just to ask some questions? Yeah?
The Chinese here anyway.
So, British Steel have announced the closure of multiple parts of plant, which risks thousands of people's careers and livelihoods.
Yeah.
What's been the reaction for yourself?
Well, it's wrong. Definitely wrong. I mean, we should still be making steel, shouldn't we?
Yeah.
I mean, we've got a grandson who works on the steel works, so we don't know how it'll affect him. But yes, it's definitely wrong.
Yeah.
I think the government.
Jobs, isn't it?
Yeah.
And what do you think has been the one of the root causes to this?
Difficult to say, isn't it, really? The Chinese, probably. I think they came with the intentions of taking the expertise, and then that's it.
And what do you think, if you had the opportunity to speak to the Prime Minister, what would you say to Keir Starmer?
Well, nationalise it to keep it going. I mean, they let Port Talbot go, didn't they? Just the same, so we'll just have to wait and see, I think.
Yeah, and what would you say? What do you think is going to happen to the town if the steelworks was still going?
Oh well, like a lot of other towns where, like the mining communities, nothing. Yeah, bit tragic, really.
Yeah. Thank you so much for a moment. What would you say his life in Scunthorpe is like?
Not nice.
Not nice. What doesn't make it nice?
It's just all the kids on motorbikes and stuff.
Kids on motorbikes. Yeah. What would you say is the root causes to this? Not a clue. Do you feel like the UK government are doing enough to address the issues that are happening?
No.
No?
No.
What would you? What's one thing that you would say to them to, like, please look into this?
To get the police out and get them arrested.
Get the police out.
Yeah.
Do you feel like the police are funded enough to be able to tackle this level of? No. No, it needs more funding for police. Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much for a couple of minutes. Have a great day. See you later.